On this week's show, Peloton's turkey burn classes set a world record, and Irene Scholz is returning as a coach next year.
Plus, Peloton is beta testing French subtitles and auto resistance in Power Zone classes. New artist series took place with Kiss and Take That, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 155 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I am back this week with my very favorite co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John.
Hey now. How you doing, Amanda?
I am
Happy
good.
post-Thanksgiving.
Happy post-Thanksgiving to you, too. It was actually a really fun week with tons of family. And my son cooked Thanksgiving dinner, and it was incredible. I was blown away. He spent a lot of time looking at researching. Him and Maddie. I felt like saying to Maddie, you and Aaron should have had a chat, because Maddie was sharing how he hosted his first Thanksgiving too this year. But yeah, you guys, I saw your mom was in town. Did you guys have a nice Thanksgiving?
Cynthia always comes in for Thanksgiving from New Jersey, and it was great. My in-laws hosted Thanksgiving in Ann Arbor, which I love because all the mess is at their house in their kitchen, and there's keep things clean in our kitchen.
Right.
Yeah, it was nice. It turned really cold, like right around Thankskiving, so like it feels like winter now in Michigan for sure.
Yeah. Oh God, Maryland too. But I thankfully am heading down south this weekend, so I will be out of the cold and in warmer weather for the month of December. So that should be fun.
Be hitting up that app, walking and running outside for the next month.
I know. I have to tell you, I know. I mean, I said it on my Insta this past week. It sucks. So I don't have a tread down there, and I have to be honest, I'm barely on the bike anymore. I am primarily, on the tread. But you know what? Thank God for the app. Okay, Peloton, I'll give you the plug there. But the app is amazing, and I love being able to, continue working out and at least feeling part of the community, even though, it's on the app. So I'll be on the app for the next month. And
you need to find a buddy down there in Miami with a Peloton tread.
With a tread. I know there are a few girls down there, so I should definitely need to kind of connect with them so that I can. But then they want to be on it. So anyway, we'll make it work. But we got a ton to share with you guys today since we were on hiatus last week. And as always, before we get started with the show, we just like to remind you how you can stay up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button at the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
Yes, and of course, you can always listen to us if you're on the go and just want to hear the audio. We're on all traditional podcast platforms. Just search Pelo Buddy TV, and you can find us pretty much everywhere. And also, we want to give a special thanks. I know a lot of folks that listen to the show on Spotify have been posting and tagging Pelo Buddy recently on social about the Spotify Wrap, their most listened to podcasts. And Pelo Buddy has been number one for several folks, including John Mills, I think, posted about it recently too. And I shared a story from one of our loyal listeners and viewers in my Instagram stories recently. So we do appreciate that.
Yeah, that's really cool. So thank you so much. It was kind of fun. I did see that too. I actually forgot to repost that. I need to do that still. But
shout out to Celestine she's one of the Mila Mafia admins that runs Camilla's group. So shout out to her.
That's awesome. Yeah. So thank you everybody for listening, because hopefully we keep you up to date. And of course, we are on Facebook, Instagram, X. So if you want that quick bit of information and not have to listen to the whole podcast, you can certainly get the information too. But don't make that your go-to. You have to come to the podcast and listen to us here. All right, John, I guess now let's get on with the show.
All right.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, Peloton achieved 2 new Guinness World Records. Guinness. It's that accent, John. It's that accent.
That's a derogatory term.
Is it?
Guinness.
All right. Guinness World Book Record during their 2023 turkey burn classes on Thanksgiving. So despite facing a 20-minute server crash during one of the classes, that was Robin's ride, the records were set for the largest live cycling class and the largest live running class. So the running record was established during Alex's turkey burn run. It was a 30-minute run with over 13,562 members. The cycling record was set during Robin's turkey burn ride. That was a 45-minute ride, and there were more than 33,579 members, although there was some discrepancy in the numbers reported. So the records are not Peloton's all-time records, but are the official Guinness World Records, though. So I guess that established something.
They had them on hand. They had representatives from Guinness on hand to certify them,
which they apparently had not done in the past. So those representatives kind of verified these new numbers. The previous records, which were interesting, was the turkey burn ride in 2020, which had over 50,000 participants.
Because that was lockdown, COVID time. Correct. Everybody was on the platform then.
What else was everybody doing, right? Everybody, was pretty much jumping on in the morning because people weren't running off to go and do Thanksgiving with family and friends because everyone was in lockdown.
That's when I think there was 2 separate turkey burn rides. Alex did the ride and Robin. Correct. And then after that, they did a run and then a ride. Yeah.
Correct. When Alex took to the tread. Yeah. But as I said, that didn't count as the official world record. There were also 2 other workouts. Matt Wilpers did a 20-minute turkey burn row. That one had over 1343 on that, which I think is pretty impressive for a row. And Dennis Morton taught a 20-minute turkey burn yoga flow, and that one had 3,650 members. So, I mean, those were also obviously, records being set for those respective classes. But there were some very unhappy members, and rightly so. I mean, I get it. I mean, I get how frustrating that could have been. So, Barry McCarthy.
Well, they go and promote how they're out to set all these records, and then understandably,
and then
everyone
these kind of things happen.
Complains about and shout out to anyone who spent 20 minutes trying to get into that ride and didn't give up and finally got in. I fortunately, Jackie tried to do it. She got shut out. I didn't bother with it. I didn't feel like working out that morning, so I didn't end up dealing with all that.
I didn't either, but I did want to get the numbers for Peloton, so I just logged on in the app for both of them. Alex's was amazing. I did go back and run Alex's because it really was an amazing workout. Robin's went on, but I felt bad almost that I was able to get on and I wasn't actually riding, that I was just on the app. Because I feel bad for those people.
I really wish Alex would get back to doing the ride because I love running, but I would have outworked myself getting so competitive with that leaderboard on the turkey bird run, and just the ride. I have more fun with it. So I kind of miss the fact that he no longer does the ride anymore. I wish they would switch it up.
They should switch it up. That's actually a good idea. Yeah. I mean, that one year Robin does the run and Alex does the ride. Anyway, Barry McCarthy did issue a formal apology to the community following the server issues. And despite the successful setting of the 2 world records for cycling and running, it was marred by these technical difficulties, and thousands of members weren't able to get on, as you said, for those first 20 minutes. So, while the issue was resolved and folks, as you said, were persistent and did eventually get on, it still was frustrating. I mean, if you'd planned that to be your workout, it was definitely frustrating. I got to tell you, though, the fact, as you said, that this had not been pre-tested or organized or made sure that there was not going to be. I mean, clearly they were able to eventually get folks on it. Kind of is a short-sighted, as you said, on Peloton's part in not being able to accommodate all those that really wanted to get on. I mean, you would have thought that the infrastructure would have been a little bit better. He didn't actually specifically give any details about the issues.
Yeah, they never go into it.
And, or any future steps to prevent such occurrences happening. But he did share on the official Peloton member page on Facebook and via email that he expressed regret for the inconvenience, as well as him wishing members a happy holiday.
What was very, what I thought was very entertaining was this year, the admins of the official Peloton member page on Facebook took the whole weekend off. They posted the day before Thanksgiving. We will begin approving posts again on Sunday or Monday. So during the turkey burn ride, when countless people are frustrated and can't get in, so many people are submitting posts on that page that was awaiting approval, which were ultimately approved, I guess, on Monday. And so there was just these floods of posts, like one after the other, just complaining, bitching about not being, and just the comments were hilarious.
I did see that, and I didn't realize. So that's actually, I'm so pleased you said that, because I did see some of that pop up, and I didn't understand why. What the comments were. Now I get it, because they weren't approving posts during the weekend. Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah, I posted something in my Insta stories, and it was a TikTok of someone like taking a nap on their couch and all these notification sounds coming through on their phone, and then them looking at the phone and then just going back to bed. And it's, the meme said, the admins of the official Peloton page on vacation while everyone's posting about not being able to get into the turkey burn ride.
Oh, that is hysterical. Missed that one. I missed that one. That's too funny. Oh my goodness. All right, moving on. Exciting.
Well, big news coming in the Peloton world. So former instructor Irene Kaymer, who was originally known as Irene Scholz, one of the German instructors, has rejoined Peloton. So Irene originally left the company in 2021. Since then, she's gotten married, hence the name change, and she had a baby. Last Sunday, a week ago, Peloton announced that Irene will be coming back to Peloton in the spring of 2024. And this is the first time an instructor has departed the company and rejoined and re-premiered. So in addition to teaching German language cycling classes, she'll also be teaching German language strength classes as well. Peloton was hosting a London Calling German members weekend at Peloton Studios last weekend. I guess it was last weekend. And Irene had showed up in London for the weekend, interacting with members and instructors. And she was in the front row of Eric Jaeger's cycling class that weekend, along with members, and even posed for the class thumbnail photo for that ride with Eric. And then Eric announced her in the ride, saying she was coming back, and they shined the spotlight on her. So it was a real nice way of posting the news. But she is once again listed now on the Peloton instructor's website. There was even a press release put out confirming the news that she will be rejoining the company. And Irene was quoted as saying, after taking a break over the past couple of years to focus on myself, getting married, starting a family, I decided to make the return to Peloton so that I can continue to share my love and passion for health and fitness. It's been an amazing experience reconnecting with the Peloton community, and I can't wait to begin teaching Peloton members across Germany and Austria, helping them to stay motivated wherever they are.
Nice.
And it says that press release, it just mentions that she'll start teaching again in spring 2024. So we still have a few months to wait, but I know a lot of folks who were sad when she left are super excited that she's coming back.
Yeah, the German community were definitely, I mean, she had developed such a close community with everybody. And remember, I mean, we tried to get her on the show back then, and, she didn't want to say anything negative. She was very positive about it. It really was, I think, just to go. Her husband is a professional golfer, and they came out to the States, and he was based in Florida. He was actually up in Jupiter, where, he was doing, because I actually reached out to her a couple times.
She was commuting, I think, for a while from Germany, right? So
I think that was part of the problem. Correct. I think that was part of the problem. Those were in those days when they first started with the German community. I don't know if you remember, and they actually used
she was
to do
teaching
classes,
from home. She did classes from home for a while.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. I mean, she's fantastic, and I'm really, really excited that she's back. So that's awesome. All right. Well, it looks like Peloton are currently beta testing a new feature called ERG Mode, specifically designed for Power Zone riders on the Peloton Bike Plus. So this feature, also known as auto resistance or auto follow, enables the Bike Plus to automatically adjust resistance to maintain a specific power zone as indicated by the instructor, regardless of the changes in the rider's cadence. It also adjusts resistance automatically. In the past, the auto resistant function was not available for Power Zone rides. So this beta test now allows some members to use this feature during a Power Zone class. The system is designed to keep riders in the middle of their zones, adjusting resistance to maintain the same power output even as the cadence varies. The ERG mode is a common feature in the cycling industry. It's available on smart trainers and platforms like Trainer Road, Wahoo, and Zwift. So it seems appropriate that Peloton are now offering it with their Power Zone rides as well. What members like, or what cyclists like, is that it keeps riders at a fixed power output by adjusting that resistance automatically. The beta test is currently limited with no specific timeline for a wider release. The feature relies on the same data that powers the target for Power Zone indicator on the Peloton bike, which was added last year. While the target Power Zone indicator is available on both the Peloton bike and Bike Plus, this new ERG mode feature will only be available on the Bike Plus due to hardware limitations of the standard Peloton bike. So remember, the original bike, you cannot auto resist, you cannot put the bike on auto resistance. That's one of the positive features of the Bike Plus. So it does make sense that it's only available there. And then one last thing, in addition to this feature, Peloton also announced that 3 more coaches would be teaching Power Zone classes. We had mentioned that to you before. So users can also utilize the free Home Fitness Buddy Power Zone library and timer tool to explore the structure of all the Power Zone classes and search for rides specific to those zones. So that's a huge, if it does end up coming off and comes out of beta, as a regular thing, I think that Power Zone riders are really going to like it. And I got to be honest, that was one of the things that always kind of was off-putting for me, was that I couldn't find that right zone to be in. There wasn't a way to kind of, force myself to be in that zone.
To lock it in.
So I tended to like dismiss it and never really became a power, never rode power. You also not a big Power Zone rider, correct?
Yeah, very sporadically.
It's boring. Yeah. So we'll see. And then another beta test is French subtitles for classes. So the feature's been observed in at least 2 classes on the platform where French subtitles appeared automatically, even while the subtitle setting was turned off. So the classes identified with French subtitles are a 15-minute morning mobility class with Ross Rayburn from May the 4th of 2023 and a 20-minute full body strength class with Callie Gullickson from November the 6th. So there may be additional classes featuring French subtitles as well. Those were the only 2 that were spotted. In the subtitle settings, there is an extra off option at the end of the drop-down menu, following English, German, and Spanish options. The French subtitles seem to be enabled through this menu option. Once it becomes official, once it is officially launched, we expect that the off option will then be replaced with French, so that folks would be able to utilize that option if they chose to. I think the reasoning for this is obviously the potential to move into the French market, as well as the fact that folks shouldn't forget that half of Canada is French speaking. So those folks that are out in Quebec, speak French, and it may be helpful to have the subtitles on there, as well as other Western European countries, where French is a prominent language. So back in 2021, Peloton had indicated that French language classes were planned, but 2 years later, we haven't seen any of those. And I think part of that had to do with the fact that they were looking at going into France as a market. And then I think with things not being as fiscally
as they thought,
appropriate. Exactly. They decided not to. So interesting. We'll have to look out, to look out at that, and we'll definitely keep you updated as that goes further along.
Cool. Well, Peloton has recently distributed a survey to select members to gauge their interest in virtual reality. So virtual reality headsets and gaming. This survey was sent via email, gave members the opportunity to win a $75 gift card to Tango, which is an e-gift card company, for their participation. But it contained a number of questions designed to ascertain members' interest in a number of different topics, such as wearables to track progress, playing app games while working out, playing virtual reality games while working out, playing video pieces, all sort of like gaming related in conjunction with working out. Workouts with quests, missions such as Zombies Run. So it'll be interesting to see, they could answer in terms of gauging their interest, like not at all, a little, moderate, great deal. Previous patents have hinted at the possibility of Peloton virtual reality in the future, some sort of aspect of VR. A patent filed earlier this year related to the row specifically mentioned games in virtual environments. So this new survey indicates, there's still some interest, and they're still gauging and exploring those areas. So it'll be interesting to see kind of, what comes of it.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, they've also announced it's called Made to Move tour, known as the Peloton Tiny House Tour, which will visit several cities in Germany and Austria in 2023 and 24. The tour will feature demos of the Peloton Bike Plus and Tread, and will include appearances by Peloton instructors for members' meet and greets. They'll have music and DJs, as well as panels with well-known athletes. The tour is described as Peloton's first city-to-city event series, and will differ from the Peloton on Tour event in that the instructors will have only 1 or 2 short activities at each stop. The tour aims to bring the gym experience to various locations, allowing people to get to know Peloton, meet prominent athletes, and experience popular music acts. The dates and locations are as follows. It did kick off actually in Germany this past weekend, in Berlin on November 24th and 25th. Munich got the tour on the 28th to the 30th, so these past few days. They're going to be in Hamburg in January, the 5th and 6th. And then they'll move to Austria, and they start they'll be going to Vienna in Austria. That'll be the 11th and 12th of January. And then back to Germany, where they will end up in Munich. They'll end up in Frankfurt, which will be the 19th and 20th of January. So kind of like a fun way for them to kind of get out there, certainly in the Austrian market, as they're getting ready to launch in there. The Munich event will be part of the Munich ISPO trade fair. It does require a ticket to attend, so Peloton members would have to purchase a ticket to attend in order to be able to, come along. They'll offer sweepstake prizes, including the giveaway of a Peloton Bike Plus, as well as trips to London for classes at PSL. Each city will feature different Peloton instructors with different activities like warm-up sessions, inspirational talks, Q&A sessions, and stretching. Additionally, a city challenge will be held in each location where well-known athletes and local heroes will compete in disciplines on the Peloton Bike Plus and Tread. So that'll be fun to kind of be a part of and get to see that. The city with the most workout minutes will win the title of the Tiny House Sports City and receive a special surprise. So folks are able to pre-book for the test rides and runs at the tour stops from the Peloton website. So definitely a really fun way to...
It's a really cute little house. It's just like this little cozy cabin with a tread and bike right next to it. So yeah, and I saw Eric.
Right, like a Swiss chalet. I imagine like an Austrian chalet. Yeah.
So super fun idea.
Yeah, great idea. All right.
We've got some new artist series to talk about that recently went down at Peloton. Most recently, we had a KISS artist series. It was officially announced to showcase the iconic rock band KISS, who we all know to paint their faces. Gene Simmons, the lead frontman of that group. The series, it arrived this past Thursday, the 30th. It included 6 classes across 4 modalities, including 2 in German. There were 2 premieres, but the rest of the classes for the series did occur live, and they are as follows. We had a premiere ride, 30 minutes, from Charlotte Wiedenbach, your friend Charlotte Wiedenhorn, in German. A premiere in German from Tobias Heinz. That was a 30-minute run. A 20-minute glutes and leg strength from Logan. A 30-minute ride from Dennis. These ones all went down in the evening time slot live on Thursday the 30th.
7 o'clock,
Yeah, kind of like right next to each other, some at the same time. A 30-minute KISS run with Andy Spear, a 20-minute KISS row with Alex Karwoski. And then, as we had shared earlier this week, many members attending the classes, I thought this was funny, in person at PSNY will sport full face makeup, as Peloton has hired makeup artists to paint faces prior to the class. And those who do take advantage of the face painting will receive priority placement. Obviously, they want to get the people that are most enthusiastic with the painted faces in the front row on camera. So they'll
hysterical.
Be likely to enter the studio first to get the prime bikes in the front row. KISS, coincidentally, is wrapping up their end of the road world tour on December 2nd, which was just this past weekend at Madison Square Garden, right in New York City. So we initially shared that this series was on the way last month when Peloton had added several artist series for the month of November to the studio booking site. So it's been a pretty packed month for the artist series. We had a Taylor Swift 1989, a DMX, Blink 182. The next one that just happened the prior week was the Take That artist series, featuring the music of the English band Take That, who I've never heard of before, but apparently they're a big hit in the UK.
They're
and
amazing.
in Europe. That artist series took place on Monday, November 20th, and there were 7 classes in total taking place both live on demand. They were all taught from the UK studio at PSL. So we'll only feature class types taught there, meaning there'll be rides, runs, and strength, but no row classes or yoga classes like some of the other series have had.
Yeah.
But Ben did a 20-minute Take That full body strength. Marcel did a 30-minute run in German. Benny did a 30-minute Take That ride also in German. That was a premiere drop. Susie Chan had a 10-minute Take That warm-up run. John Hoskins did a 30-minute Take That run. Did you take that one? I see you chomping at the bit.
It's my pick of the week.
Leanne had a 30-minute Take That ride, and then Sam had a 10-minute Take That cool down ride as well. I've not taken any of them.
I've always loved Take That, and I guess just because I've always worked out with Leanne and Ben, etc., it's always been in their playlists. They've had, they've always had Take That music.
80s, 90s.
Yeah,
band?
they're a pop 80s, 80s, maybe early 90s, but they're very popular. They broke up though, so they kind of took a hiatus, and they broke up. There were 5 of them, and there are now only 3 of them, and they're about to re-release. I think it may even be this weekend. A brand new set of lyrics. So music, yeah. So they're awesome. They're awesome, and yeah, it is my pick of the week. So I'll wait for that.
What's their biggest hit?
Oh, come on, John. You always ask me that. I don't remember what my name is.
Well, just sing me a couple chords.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not singing. We're going to move on to Ali Love. Yeah. I'm not singing. All right. So for all the Ali Love fans, we do have some exciting news for you. After a 2.5-year hiatus, with the last class being held on November the 14th of 2021, Sundays with Love is back. So Ali took to IG announcing the return of her much-loved series. She said that the series came about when she decided to create a space on Sundays for members who were looking for more than just a workout. Sundays with Love began as a spiritual, grounded, thought-provoking celebration of life experience, which ultimately shifted to a themed concept, focused ride for us to become better versions of ourselves. The series will return quarterly, with this past Sunday, November the 26th, being the first class back on the platform. And remember, on Sundays, we wear purple. The series was so popular that back in 2021, they actually had Sundays with Love apparel that folks could buy. And yours truly, of course, had to have her Sundays with Love purple apparel. I used to love those classes. I have to be honest with you. I really enjoyed getting on the bike. I think they were at 12 noon on a Sunday. And they were kind of my sense of church, I would say. I was going to church. I did feel at some point they became a little bit too preachy. So I tended to not do them as much. I didn't do the one this past Sunday, but I definitely will jump on those to get to see if she's modified anything or what she's done. I mean, I love Ali.
I can understand what you mean by preachy, because I remember I haven't taken them regularly, but I remember doing one live, and I remember the pre-show. It was her kind of reading all these affirmations. Yeah. And I said to myself, okay, this is different. It's a little different. It's not the usual Ali pre-show of her like dancing around and chatting with people. So she has a real full agenda for it. So
right. And back in 2020 was kind of my 2019, 2020. I think she started them in 2019. I went back to take a look. She ended at the end of 2021. But was really my time where I was very spiritual and I was looking for something. And then I kind of found Leanne and found something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for her, and she put a lot of work into those. So I'll be curious to see.
Why did she? I'm surprised I didn't even realize it had been that long of a break. But what was the reason why she took such a long hiatus?
Neither did I until I was preparing for the story. And they don't say why. Remember she ended up going off and getting married and being very, she hasn't really had any other type of series since then. If I'm not mistaken.
She's been busy with other stuff outside of Peloton.
Look, she is. She's so busy with other stuff. So I guess this took a back burner. But obviously members were asking about it, and Peloton listened. So, it's come back. So I'm excited. I'm happy for Ali.
I know she took a break. Did she do Boss October this year? Because I know last year
she did do Boss October. Yes.
Last year I don't think she did it. She skipped it.
She did
last year.
She did do something. I remember seeing something. This past year. Yep, this past October, she did.
Well, we've got some Peloton X Michigan classes that I'm very excited about, obviously, because I'm a big Michigan fan and live in Michigan. But Peloton continues to slowly expand how they are working with the University of Michigan, who is the first school in Peloton's college strategy that they recently began. At launch, right now, there's 2 classes available. There's a 10-minute upper body mobility with Andy Spear and a 10-minute level up meditation with Chelsea Jackson Roberts. In addition to the coaches wearing University of Michigan colored apparel, there's also University of Michigan student athletes in the studio for these classes, which is pretty cool. The collection description reads, "Get ready for game day with our new Peloton X Michigan collection. Move to the next level in your fitness goals alongside University of Michigan athletes." Both of the classes right now feature the 2023-24 Michigan men's basketball team, some of the players from the team. Peloton also started working with athletes in other ways. As first reported by Sports Illustrated, Peloton recently signed an NIL contract, which stands for name, image, likeness, with University of Michigan football running back Blake Corum. I know Alex was recently posting with him, and Blake, I think, was at the studio at one point with Alex, or they shared something in their stories together, tagging each other. But yeah, he's like the hot running back, for Michigan, having like a crazy good season this year. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some more Michigan stuff. I just love seeing how people, I just love seeing the hate on Michigan, saying, oh, they're cheaters, Jim Harbaugh's, they're stealing signs. It's just, I love it.
So I have to be honest with you, I was a little surprised you didn't make it down to game day. What happened? John, I'm going to call you out.
I'm such a pussy. It's so cold. It was so cold that morning. And
no excuse.
Like the
crowds, Jess and Jen, and you didn't make your way there. I really wanted to go down
there, but just when I saw the amounts of people, I can't handle like big crowd. Like I get like panic attacks, and if it had been earlier in the year where it was like nice, warm, short and t-shirt weather, we probably would have gone down there and just like hung out casually, not been one of like the crazy people, getting their hours in advance. But no, I wanted to cozy up on the couch with a blanket.
You had your mom in town, and Thanksgiving weekend.
I wasn't going to drag her down there. She finally decided not to fly out. She always would go home on a Saturday, and it would always inevitably be during the Michigan-Ohio State game, because it's always now on Thanksgiving weekend at noontime, which it'd be nice if they did a night game here and there. But she would always fly out, and I would be driving her to the Detroit airport. Missing the game. So she finally, I said, can you just fly out another day? And so she left Monday. So we got a couple extra days and didn't have to drive her to the airport during the game. And obviously we know who won. The better team won that game. So, and we can go into that more when we cover the Jen Sherman appearance later on in Instructor News.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, Peloton also launched a new collection titled the Liverpool FC collection, FC meaning football club, featuring special classes made for and with the Liverpool Football Club, or for the Americans listening or watching, soccer team. This collaboration was announced via a post on the Peloton Studios Instagram story. The collection is designed to help members run, ride, walk, lift, or stretch towards their fitness goals, inspired by the Liverpool Football Club. At the launch, the collection included 5 classes. There's a 30-minute Liverpool football ride with Hannah Frankson, a 20-minute walk with John Husking, a run with Susie Chan, and a full body strength with Jermaine Johnson. There's also a 10-minute stretch with Justin Tunson-Rule. The classes feature ties to Liverpool Football Club, with descriptions hinting at football-inspired workouts. For example, Jermaine's strength class is designed to build power and agility like a footballer, while Hannah's class includes a football club locker room playlist to energize and motivate participants. Peloton also created a very pretty custom badge for these classes, which can be viewed both in the collection and on the larger on-demand library. The initiative is part of a multi-year partnership, which we spoke about back in July of 2023, between Peloton and the Liverpool Football Club, aimed at releasing special content for Peloton members. Prior to this, Peloton had released a campaign featuring Liverpool's manager, Jurgen Klopp, and a commercial including an outdoor run with Marcel Maurer, though this run was not included in the Liverpool Football Club collection. I do find it interesting, though, because as certainly for our English viewers and listeners, they are, folks are very much about their football club. So I was interested when I saw that John was involved in a walk when he does not want to have anything to do with Liverpool.
Is he a Manchester United?
No, he's not. He is oh God, and you were going to ask me that, and I went to the game. That was the game that I went to in London.
That's like the only one I know offhand.
It'll come to me in a minute. I've completely blanked on what his football club is. But yeah, it was interesting to see. I'm sure there was a lot of controversy in that. In what folks had to endure. Anyway, so that was another collaboration with them. So
Peloton has announced a new class series with Rad Lopez, your friend Mariana Fernandez, and Camila Ramon. It will be called Iconos Latinos. It'll be taught in Spanish. Peloton shared the news via the Peloton Studios Instagram stories recently, and the first set of classes debuted just the other day, yesterday on Saturday, December 2nd. There was a ride, strength, and yoga class, which all took place live. A 30-minute Iconos Latinos ride with Camilla, a 20-minute glutes and leg strength with Rad, and a 30-minute yoga flow with Mariana. Each class will feature a playlist of influential and trailblazing Latin artists, and the classes have members in the studio for them, as each were added to the studio booking site recently when they were posted. And then these initial 3 classes are currently the only Iconos Latinos on the upcoming schedule, but Peloton's announcement does indicate that there may be more on the way in the future.
Nice. All right. And I had to go back to that last story and just tell everybody it is Crystal Palace. How could I forget after I cheered Crystal Palace on? But that is John's club that he belongs to.
And that's in the UK?
That's in the UK. Yeah, Crystal Palace Football Club. So and they're quite good actually. But yeah, there's Manchester, Liverpool, Chelsea. Yeah. So those are kind of the ones around. All right. I wasn't going to leave that out. I had to remember it, but that's my old age brain. I forget things. All right. So moving on Friday, this past Friday, Peloton and Red teamed up with members at PSL to join Jeffrey McKeechan and special guest comedian Phoebe Robinson, or to her IG followers, Dope Queen Phoebes, in celebration of World AIDS Day with a run live in the studio. Unfortunately, at time of recording, it hadn't happened, but I do know that Jeffrey was very, very excited about being asked to do this. It was a big deal for him. And I know that having members in the studio would have been just amazing. So I'm really excited to hopefully talk a little bit more about this next week when we understand more. But he was, really passionate about doing this particular workout. So that was fun.
That's great. Well, Pump Up the Volume, Volume 10 is here. Peloton has released Pump Up the Volume 10, the newest installment of their strength training program designed to encourage members to progress over time. The collection description reads, add more volume to your workout. Over 4 weeks, our instructors will take you through programmatic classes while gradually increasing your reps, load, and volume. Take the classes on guide for added metrics. And Pump Up the Volume 10, it features Jermaine Johnson, Ben Aldis, and Tunde. Similar to previous Pump Up the Volume collections, classes are released one week at a time. So only the first week is currently available right now. A new week will be added each week over the next 3 weeks, and will feature the same instructors throughout the entire collection. So Pump Up the Volume has nine other collections currently available, all of which can be accessed through the collections tab on the web browser, the app, or on the hardware. You can also find them. We have a nice link, a complete list of the Peloton programs on pelobuddy.com, as well as within the article for this story on Pelo Buddy. Each collection contains 12 classes designed to be taken over the course of the 4 weeks. It includes a mix of numerous strength instructors. Unlike Peloton's formal training programs, you don't need to take the classes in sequential order to access the next workout. It first debuted all the way back in September of 2022. It started out exclusively to the guide for people who had the Peloton guide. However, the collections are now available for all members at the time they're released. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Since I've upped my strength training, I've been looking for something, a little bit more structured. I don't like just jumping on any kind of strength workout. I loved Ben's Stronger You program. So I'm looking forward to this. I definitely want to try this for sure. All right. Well, the German team have been very busy lately with lots of new German content. So first up, the beautiful Mila Lazar will now be teaching Pilates on the platform. 3 classes have already dropped on demand, a 30-minute and 10-minute intermediate class and a 20-minute beginner class, as well as 3 dubbed classes with Aditi Shah. So Mila had dropped those 3, and then they dubbed 3 of Aditi's classes for German-speaking members. Marcel Maher will be teaching tread bootcamp classes, and he too has 3 30-minute classes that have dropped as well. So that's really exciting. Rebecca Kennedy's classes have been dubbed into German. I'm dying to jump on those just to hear what it sounds like. And
to hear the German voice.
To hear the German voice, knowing it's Rebecca. And then Myla and Asal will be doing prenatal and postnatal classes. All I could find right now are there are 2 5-minute post-ride stretches that have dropped with Myla. So I'm not sure where Asal fits into that, but Chris had mentioned that in the notes. But those probably we'll look out for. And then lastly, 6 shadowboxing classes have dropped, which are dubbed in German. There are 3 classes with Kendall and 3 with Jermaine. So tons of new material. And I'm sure this is also getting ramped up as they move into the Austrian, area.
The market.
The Austrian market to be able to do this. So tons of new stuff for the German community to utilize, which is great.
Thanks. Well, got some class purge updates. Since we did not have an episode last week, we have to get caught up on that purge. So we'll start with that one. So on November 17th, Peloton purged the majority of classes filmed between September 21st and the 24th of 2020 in this latest round of library maintenance. This resulted in the removal of under about 100 classes that were filmed over those 4 days. So a smaller purge. The trend seems to be going down in terms of the amount of content each week that is purged. So hopefully that continues as the purges continue, gets to be less and less. And then on the 24th of November, Peloton removed the majority of classes that were filmed from September 25th to the 28th of 2020. And that resulted an even lesser amount, a removal of around 80 classes from the on-demand library. So hopefully as the trend continues, we'll just see less and less, and we'll have more less disappointing news about some of our favorite classes disappearing.
When did they move into PSNY, the new studio?
March of 2020. I don't know if they started filming right there, but basically
because 2020 was pandemic, so they did all those classes from home.
Yeah, I don't know if they started right up, and I don't know if I can't remember if they were in the studio at PSNY in March of 2020. I mean, that's when they were supposed to shift over. Okay.
I don't remember exactly the dates, but yes, I'm sure my point for that is that obviously the, sound, etc. was now, of better quality that they were in the new studio. So, I'm sure there'll be less and less that'll be purged.
They've already taken out a lot of 2020 classes that were from PSNY.
Oh, they have?
So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is all PSNY content that we're talking about now at this point.
Yeah. I guess so.
I mean, but hopefully there's a handful of 23rd Street stuff. I mean, like the oldest Cody ride, I think, is from April or May of 2019. It's like a live Pride DJ. I guess it's from June because it's Pride month from June of 2019. So that's the oldest Cody class in there. But
got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. All right. If you're still looking to jump on any of the Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals for hardware, Peloton have actually extended the sale through December the 5th. So if you are in fact listening or watching the show, jump on quickly because Tuesday it's going to be over. So the deals are really pretty unbelievable. With the Peloton Bike Plus being under $2,000, the regular bike just over $1,000, and then of course the Tread and Row are on sale too. And the guide is only at $95, which is a great deal. So those have been extended till Tuesday.
I didn't get any. Did you get any apparel stuff? I didn't get anything.
I put stuff in my
I put stuff,
and then I was like, I know, I put stuff in my basket, and I just didn't go back and do it. I just don't need any more stuff.
Yeah, I'm good for now.
Any more stuff
unless there's really something I really want.
I had bought a whole ton of stuff right before was just stupid when they came out with their last, which I really like actually. I really, really like the stuff they just brought out. So I just didn't get anything.
Well, staying on the apparel topic, we now have some rowing apparel. So for any row enthusiasts, Peloton has announced their latest apparel collaboration with a new collection from the clothing company called 776 BC. At launch, there are 8 new Peloton 776 BC items available in the Peloton apparel store. They include a unisuit, shirts, tanks, and long sleeves. Peloton is promoting that this collection includes the 776 BC motion system, which allows for more precise instructions to be provided, as the Peloton website says. But what sets this gear apart is the ingenious integration of 776 BC's patented motion system. Embedded with strategic visual biomarkers and lines, these garments act as guides, allowing our world-class trainers to provide you with precise instructions to refine your technique and elevate your form. So it's hard to see how Peloton instructors can consistently give good form cues based on these guides only focused on one apparel brand. But for anyone that is interested in this form feedback, like Alex was wearing the shirt and it had all these sort of like white lines, these horizontal lines. So that's what these like indicators are on the apparel. So for anyone interested in that form feedback, you can see more about it in the 776 BC motion system on their website. So the technology, it even has this special app where you can upload videos to get to have it analyze your own form if you're wearing that apparel with those markers. It kind of remains to be seen how much that form feedback will be provided from the version Peloton is selling, although the description of the items does talk about how the markers and lines are on the clothing. But Alex Karwoski, he's been teasing this apparel launch for a while now, and he's worn some of the items himself in classes as well. He introduced the new collection in a video that was posted on the Peloton Apparel website.
Nice. All right, Little Words Project have brought out a few more bracelets. We saw ones that say New York, New Jersey, Texas, and Boston, which has been added to the collection. I do have to say, though, I was thinking about it when I would have loved the New York one, and I was just thinking, $30 for a beaded bracelet is a lot of money. And I just made that assumption. I think it's just really overpriced. So yeah, I refrain from getting any more. I also love Maddie has the inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit.
Yeah.
And which I loved, and I love the quote, and I just figured it's you buy 2 of those, that's $60. That's a lot of money for a beaded bracelet. So
maybe if you got a code to burn. Oh.
Maybe, but even then, I don't know if I would waste it on that. So I don't know. I think that they're overpriced. And, initially the hype was great. And I mean, look, I did get a couple, but I decided that, I just think they're expensive. So that's my 2 cents.
I don't think you're the only one.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right. Well, happy birthdays. We got a couple birthdays. So Bradley Rose, his birthday was the previous week on the 22nd. Happy birthday, Bradley. And then, what's his age? He likes to keep that a mystery. I can't remember. Is he like 37?
Oh, his age?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does not share his age.
He's probably one of those types that like fudges the birth
number
date on his IMDb or his Wikipedia. Yeah. And then the OG of Peloton, Jen Sherman, her birthday was this past Friday, December 1st. So happy birthday to both of them. Yep.
All right. Good stuff. All right, John. Well, we're going to kick it right into Instructor in the news. There is a lot of it, so we will roll right into the first story, which is about Mila Wiedekant. She looks like she is jumping on the author bandwagon and is set to release a book on April the 4th of 2024. The book is titled, and forgive me, German listeners, if I mess this up, I am going to do my best. Das mir die Welle und ich, was ich von Surfen ich übermut vertraten und loslassen lernte.
Hopefully, is it a surfing book? Because I heard
somewhat
surf.
Right. It is. It's translated as The Sea, The Wave, and Me, What I Learned from Surfing About Courage, Trust, and Letting Go. So hopefully I did you guys justice in pronouncing that. All my Afrikaans that I had to learn back in South Africa, there's a little German intonation there. All right. It will be available in paperback and Kindle ebook formats. It is currently listed on the German EU Amazon stores. Basically, it is an autobiography focusing on Mila's experiences before joining Peloton, particularly her passion for surfing. It narrates her journey from her first time on a surfboard, her progress in the sport, and the challenges she's faced in a male-dominated field. It delves into themes of courage, trust, and learning to let go as Mila shares insights from her life and surfing experiences. It does include her background in psychology. So she studied psychology as well as working as a Peloton fitness trainer and her deep love for surfing. She actually spent over 6 years in Bali after finishing school. She did school in Germany, but then went off to Bali, where she basically learned how to surf.
Yeah, I was wondering where she did all her surfing based on.
Yeah. So that should be an interesting book that is going to be coming out next year. So even the Germans now are jumping on the author bandwagon.
So it's like every instructor is getting a book deal, it seems. I'm so burnt out on it.
Burnt out. But good for her. The Germans haven't had an opportunity yet, so they can jump on this one.
Well, Sam Yo has a new Bruce Lee inspired 5-minute post-ride stretch. It is also kind of in conjunction. He recently had a conversation on Instagram with famous martial arts and artist and actor Bruce Lee, his daughter Shannon Lee. He had posted the video of the chat. I guess it was probably an Insta Live initially, but he posted the conversation, and he said it was such a delightful chat with the real Shannon Lee, talking about how she is preserving her father Bruce Lee's legacy, unlocking this sticky mind in upcoming projects. And then I recently did his 5-minute post-ride stretch from November 24th. It features some of the score from the movie Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and then there's another song or music score from Bruce Lee's movie, I guess from the 70s, called Enter the Dragon. So check that out if you haven't. He talks a little bit about Bruce Lee, in the course of the stretch while the music is playing. So it's kind of interesting. Nice.
All right. And Tunde has blown us away. She is being featured in a coffee table book by Photo Book magazine, looking absolutely stunning. If you have not seen the pictures, head over to her Instagram because honestly, they are just exquisite. And huge congrats to her on that.
Thanks. And shifting over to Rad Lopez, Peloton is kicking off the holiday season by hosting a toy drive along with, I guess I pronounce this, Wedco, one of Peloton's charity partners at PSNY it's coming up December 13th. The event will also feature a panel with Rad Lopez, as well as a meet and greet afterwards. And the invitation reads, join us for a festive holiday gift drive with Rad. Bring a gift for the holiday drive and engage in a lively Q&A panel with Rad. Meet and greet to follow. Light refreshments will be served. And it's not, you don't have to buy a ticket. You have to RSVP. As of right now, it's currently waitlist only. But if you want to, try to get in there, you can go on pelobuddy.com. We have, the link with the article there. It's happening, like I said, on December 13th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. And those that are attending are instructed to enter from the courtyard side of the building, which is the back entrance. And Peloton listed a specific items that are suggested for the gift toy drive to donate, like diapers, children's clothing, adult clothing, toys for children ages 0 to 12. There's also a wish list of items for those who want to contribute but can't actually attend in person. So that's nice if you still want to give. And this is the second year Peloton has partnered with Wedco to host a toy drive at the studios. Rad was also featured at the event last year along with Marcel.
Lovely. It's really nice. And I'm glad you shared about the wish list, because I didn't know that you could contribute. That's a really nice thing. So I'd like to do that. All right. Well, our gorgeous Mariana spent the Thanksgiving holiday in her hometown of San Diego and had a pretty extraordinary moment with a spot on Fox 5 San Diego, sharing her love for yoga and the health and wellness benefits. She not only got to chat to Raul Martinez on the show, but had a group of yogis join her to actually practice on live TV. So that must have been such an amazing moment. I mean, I know it was such an amazing moment for Mariana, especially being in her hometown. She did share with Raul, she shared that Raul got a brand new perspective on yoga and how it can be a full body strength workout as part of one's fitness routine. So it was an interesting dynamic there, and wonderful to see her on TV. And sticking with Mariana, she gets to return back to San Diego, but this time she'll be taking along her friends and colleagues. So Rad Lopez and Kira Michelle are joining Mariana as they host a meet and greet in both Newport Beach and San Diego on December the 6th and 7th. So for the Newport Beach location, which is at the Peloton store in Fashion Island, interested members have the opportunity to sign up by RSVPing for a 30-minute time slot between 5 and 7 p.m. It will give members an opportunity to chat, get pictures, and hang with the instructors. Whereas at the San Diego location, folks will be part of a discussion with the team, as well as a meditation that Kira will lead. So a nice opportunity for folks to get to meet the instructors. I think this is such a fantastic thing that Peloton are doing in getting instructors out to different, areas.
Different showrooms,
did not host, Peloton on tour, and still giving folks an opportunity to meet instructors. Because for so many people, it's a nice way for the instructors who aren't maybe as much of a name as some of the older instructors are, the ones that have been there for longer, folks get to know them, as well as so many people want to meet them. So it's really nice.
So this is right around the corner, Wednesday and Thursday. Is it already full?
Yep, this week. It was not full. It just was released on Wednesday. Oh, okay. And at time of recording, it was not full, because I did look. I did not check. Again, I don't know at this point whether it would be or not.
And which ones are you going to? Are you going Wednesday or Thursday?
I'm not going to San Diego. I'd love to.
You love any excuse.
Beach is amazing. Any excuse to go out west, I know. But no, I'm staying put. I'll be in Miami for the month. So, yeah.
Well, in a super fun appearance last weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is basically where I live, right next door, actually, Jen Sherman was on Fox's Big Noon Kickoff Show, which is their weekly football show on Saturday mornings before, the college football games begin. And she was right there on campus in Ann Arbor, basically just right across from Michigan Stadium, where there's a Pioneer High School. So there's all this, open field space. So they were all set up there basically. So you could see Michigan Stadium in the background, but she was just a special guest for one of the segments that was a Peloton tie-in. So there were 2 Peloton Bike Pluses. One was the new Michigan decorated one that's in Michigan colors, that's currently for sale on the Peloton website. So they basically had it was almost like a duel. So who had higher output for 5 minutes of cycling. So there was one person on the Michigan bike and one person that was cheering for Ohio State on the other bike, and then they basically, whoever I guess won, got to win the bike. And I didn't even see, it was such a quick segment. It was literally
wow.
like 30 seconds. Like I wish she had been, I wish she had more time on the show, but all their segments are just, like quick 1-2 minute little brief cuts. But it was fun because one of the hosts of the show introduced her as the Jen Sherman, which, a lot of Ohio State fans and alum like to say the Ohio State, like put that emphasis on the. But it was fun because Charles Woodson was there in the show, as well as Derek Jeter, who are Michigan alums. So Jen got to interact with them, and she was posting stuff on her social media there. But it was kind of like, she said it was a quick whirlwind trip. She got in on Friday, late in the day, and then she went home. I don't even know if she stayed for the game, because she went home on Saturday and she taught the next morning.
Taught
usual
Sunday. I saw that she
time
taught
slot,
Sunday. Yeah.
Which I was surprised. And what was interesting was she was supposed to teach that Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. She had a 30-minute 80s ride that morning, and then all of a sudden it got canceled, which is obviously because she was heading to Ann Arbor, and then I think Dennis taught it that day, that morning. But yeah, it was super fun to see her, and she has said she's not a Michigan fan. Yeah, she's a Big Ten mom because her son, Evan, he went to the University of Maryland, I think the first year, and then he transferred to University of Wisconsin, which is where he graduated from recently. And his daughter, Carly, right now goes to University of Indiana. So she's always said she's never been a fan of Michigan. She's never rooted for Ohio State. But she's a Big Ten mom, so she supports the conference. I always got a kick out of the fact that she referred to Ohio State as OSU, which I'm sure just grinds the gears of Ohio State fans, because nobody refers to Ohio State as OSU. That's Oklahoma State. So it's just like a little bit of disrespect that she didn't even realize she was putting on Ohio State, which I thought was fantastic.
All right. Well, it looks like Cody has been busy partnering with Legos for this holiday season. He featured a reel on his Instagram in the New York City Lego store showing off the holiday Lego merch. He was also interviewed for enews.com talking about the holidays and his partnership with Lego. So it was kind of quirky, but good for Cody.
What product is Cody not pimping out lately?
Right. Yeah. I mean, seriously.
He's collecting those checks left and right.
Exactly.
Well, Alex Toussaint and his foundation recently hosted a luncheon. He had posted recently, it's always an honor to give back to the community, especially when Applegate and the Do Better Foundation come together. He said, we recently hosted a Back to Routine charity luncheon where we packed backpacks with school supplies for NY Common Pantry to help kids in our community, and had a feast during the Applegate, featuring the Applegate products, which are like natural food products. Much love and thank you to everyone that came out and showed love.
All right. And to round up the Instructor in the news, Anna Greenberg, her newly renovated, gorgeous Brooklyn brownstone, that was an epic project of the Brownstone boys, Barry Bordelon and Jordan Slocum, was featured in House Beautiful in their renovations issue. And if you guys have not seen it, her home is absolutely stunning. I definitely followed along, as she was doing the reno. And it's just amazing. It's amazing. Chris, do you want me to do that?
Pretty fancy. Nice.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. I guess we are going to go right into our picks of the week. There aren't that many. But why don't you kick it off, John?
Sure. All right. Kendall's 10-minute Blink 182 shadow boxing class from November 16th. We got this from Best Ever Yet. They said, such a great class with Travis and Kendall in the same space. Unique class, worth a try to see the production. And then Callie's 30-minute soundtrack strength club from November 20th from Armajar 3. They said, great workout theme and playlist. Great series. I can't remember this one. Was it Mean Girls? I know I did this one live. I can't remember what movie it was, because she's doing all these different movies every week. All right, moving on to Benny's 30-minute Take That Ride, which was in German from November 20th. We got that also from Armajar 3. She said, this one had all my favorite Take That songs in it.
All right, and next is John Hosking, his 30-minute Take That Run from November the 20th. It was both myself and my good friend Tracy C. who recommended this one. And yes, John, I do know some of the tracks. One of my favorite ones is Everything Changes. But he had quite an interesting apparel set on for the run. He was dressed in denim. He was wearing a denim vest and all in denim. He kept it on for the entire run.
That's referred to as a Canadian tuxedo.
Is that what it's called? Referred to?
All denim, yeah, all jeans,
all denim.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. And he just put everything into it. It was an absolutely fantastic run, and really glad that I was able to do that one live. And then Leanne Hainsby had a 45-minute groove ride on the 21st. This one was recommended by Just Dance Lisa. They said so much fun and great choreography. And then Marcel Mara and Asal Aran had a 2-for-1, a 30-minute 2-for-1 tread boot camp on the 25th. This was part of the German, that German tour that they, did out in the studio for the German members. This one was recommended by Lisa Rides 82. And she said, Marcel is officially teaching tread boot camps now. So fun.
Up is Sam's 30-minute 80s rock ride from November 26th. Jenny For Real submitted us that one, and she said, fun, great playlist. Mariana Fernandez's 45-minute intervals run, also from the 26th. Megan Bowens and Oval submitted this. They said, fabulous coaching, motivation, positivity, and music. And then Ben Aldis's 30-minute low-impact ride, also from the 26th. We got that from Armajar 3. She said, this felt like near perfection to me.
All right. And then we have Rebecca Kennedy's 30-minute upper body strength class. That was from the 26th. This one was recommended by 86 Tommy, and they said one of her best strength classes in a while. Christine Derkley had a 20-minute soft rock ride, also from, this one was from the 27th. This one came from Everyday Julie K. They said pick of the year. Oh, wow. I don't usually ride with Christine, but based on recommendations, had to try this one. She was so fun and charming, and the playlist was awesome. And then the next one was mine. It is from my friend Jeffrey. It was a 30-minute 2000s walk. It was in German, and I said this on my social. You really do not need to understand the language. If you can get into, just get into what the instructor is feeling, it comes across. I mean, Jeffrey gave it away with his Whitney Houston rendition. It was a Could I Have This Kiss Forever? That is a Enrique Iglesias Whitney Houston combo. And it was so special and so amazing. It was one of my favorite walks that I've done in a long time. And I could barely understand what he was telling me to do, but it was really, really, really fun.
Nice. Next up, Jermaine Johnson's 20-minute Liverpool FC full body strength from the 27th. We got this from A Middleton 20. They said, great to see some classes as part of the Liverpool partnership. And then Mila Lazar's 20-minute Pilates, which was in German, from the 28th. We got that from Cat Cow Rides. They said, great to see some German language Pilates for the first time. And then rounding out the picks of the week, another German class from Milo Wedekind, 20-minute prenatal recovery ride from the 28th. Got that also from Cat Cow Rides, they said. And it's also great to see some German language pre- and postnatal classes for us too.
Nice. And that wraps it up. Well, I know that this weekend was Peloton on Tour, the final stop on Peloton on Tour in London. So for all of those that attended and were able to be there, I hope you had the most amazing time. I was incredibly gutted that I couldn't just jump on a quick plane. You talked about going to San Diego. It would have been London if there was anything. But that I didn't jump on a plane and get to be there. But Chris Giles, our producer, was there.
And Tony was our friend Tony Sickinson and Greg Dawson.
I'm sure. Greg's there, of course. I mean, the whole
yeah,
group,
he's a studio whore at both.
Exactly.
At both studios.
So I'm really excited to hear all about it and get to hear what everybody has to say. But there were some different things that they did this year, and there were tons of instructors teaching. So, I mean, pretty much all the American instructors. It started out with a Bex run on Thursday evening. Ali Love had rides. Alex had a run. Olivia, Robin, so Emma. They all did classes, which was really, really cool. So I'm really excited, and we'll definitely share with you next week everything about Peloton on Tour London. Right. All the dates. All right. Well, we kept you guys for quite some time, so we appreciate, as always, for you tuning in and listening and or watching. And we had to kind of roll 2 weeks into one. So hope you kind of got what you needed from the show. And we look forward to seeing you back here next week. So from me here, bye, everybody.
Yeah, and from me here in Michigan, thank you for tuning in, watching, and listening. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.